Good morning, YouTube. It's Papa Bear. It is Saturday, August 23rd. And before I get started this morning, I'd like to do a shout out. This will be for Direxify 88. Leon has 64 videos, but only 90 subs. So I'd appreciate it if you go check out Leon's channel and give him a sub. He's got some great video content. Check out the one about his birthday pipe. His brother commissioned Phil Rivara to make a pipe for him for his birthday, and it is a beauty. So I'd appreciate it if you check out Leon's channel, and let's get him above 100 real quick. Well, this morning I am smoking my L. Dagner sandblasted. They say this is a hybrid Apple Bulldog Rhodesian stubby pipe. This pipe was a creation of Tom Eltang and Jason Dagner. It came out around 2015, and I read somewhere where they introduced it at the Las Vegas Pipe Show that year. But it comes in 3mm and 9mm filter. And I picked this up at the Chicago Pipe Show. Jess Pipin and I were walking around checking out all the tables, and we came to the Danish Pipe Shop, which is the only place you can get this pipe now. And they had several of these sitting there on the table, and I looked at every one of them, and I didn't have much of a budget this year because of other things, but it was a reasonably priced pipe. It wasn't expensive, let's say that. And I think my third time around, I finally bought it and got a deal on it, and I really like it. And I'm also using the lighter that Jesse gave me. This is a Zorro Zippo type, but it takes the Zippo Slim model insert, and it is a great lighter. It has an O-ring. If you can see that little black there, that is a rubber O-ring to keep the fluid from evaporating. And it really works good. Solid brass, machined out of solid brass. Jesse, I love that lighter. That's my lighter. And this morning I'm using my new tamper from Shoutout. Jonathan sent me one of his tampers. I like the way that thing's cut out. You can grip it really well and tamp your pipe. Jonathan, I love it. Great tamper. And then my son bought me a tamper for my birthday. He got one with my initial in it. It's got the pick and the scraper there, and of course the tamper part, rosewood, and I really like that. So thank you, son. You know, lighters and tampers are just like pipes. You can't have too many, right? Well, the title of this video is How Did I Get There? And it's not so much a firefighting video as how did I get on the fire department? Well, it started back in high school, and I got into shooting archery. I wanted to do some bow hunting, but I really like target archery a lot better, so I spent a lot of my time doing that. And I would go to tournaments there in the area. I belonged to the archery club in our town, and I met a few of the archers there that were firefighters at our town. And I got to know them pretty well, and I'd go over to the station when they were working, and I'd practice with them after hours. And that was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed archery, and it kind of like pipe smoking. It consumed me. And then I went off to college, and I still shot during the summers and things like that, but went off to college, and I spent about 3 years in college, and it just wasn't for me at the time, and so I left college and came back home and thinking about what I should do for a living, and the fire department was just a natural fit. I've already been around the firefighters, and I knew what the job was. But anyway, I got a job as a dispatcher, and then I took the civil service exam and got on as a firefighter. And it was a perfect fit for me. We worked 24 hours shift and all 48. And I spent most of my off time practicing my archery and going to tournaments. And I really enjoyed that. I did that for about 10 years, and I kind of got burnt out. I was into it too much, and competition was tough. I won a few tournaments and I was sponsored by some companies. You can't make a living shooting a bow and arrow. I mean, it's not a spectator sport, really. It's kind of like watching paint dry. But if you could get a sponsor to provide for your equipment, your bow and arrows and stuff like that, and shirts to wear with their logos on it, that was probably the height of competitive archer. And so I was probably the last one in my town to get a compound bow. I shot recurve bows for a long time. I'm going to show a picture at the end. I was shooting a Wing Competition 2 takedown bow. Wing was owned by AMF, which was big in the bowling equipment, big competitor to Brunswick. But then I eventually got into compound bow shooting. And the compound bow was invented back in 1966 and patented in 99 by Hollis Allen. And his first compound looked like a 2x4 with a bunch of limbs and pulleys on it. But Hollis Allen patented the eccentric wheels and the let-off feature of a compound bow, that whole mechanism. And if anybody wanted to use his patent, he got a royalty for every bow that manufacturer sold. And they tried for years to break the patent, and they couldn't. Jennings was the first commercial manufacturer of compound bows, and Jennings fought Allen up until the court case was finally settled, and Jennings had to pay. And Jennings didn't last that long. But Jennings was one of my first sponsors. I shot one of their bows, and then I shot for Bear Archery, and the company I was working for or sponsored shooting for was, before I quit, was PSC Archery. And so I had a lot of fun shooting a bow and traveling around and representing those companies and competing. It was a big part of my life, but I had to move on, and that's okay. So that's about all I have for today. I'll have some pictures at the end, of course. The one picture of me shooting was at a regional tournament, and that picture was in the front page of the sports section. And the photographer, I'm just speculating, when he developed the negatives, he said something looks wrong. And so he flipped the negative over and to put in the newspaper. And the problem was that I'm left-handed, and the negative showed me shooting left-handed, and the guy said, "No, this is not right." So they flipped it over, and they had me shooting right-handed in the newspaper. So I am going to sit back. Oh, by the way, I am smoking 2023 Burley Morning Pipe, and it's mighty tasty. So that's how I got on the fire department. And thank you for watching. I hope you go check out Leon's channel. And Jesse, thank you for helping me pick out this pipe, and thank you for the lighter. Jonathan, Sow Dog Piper, thank you for the tamper. And the rest of y'all, I hope you have a great weekend. We'll talk to you later. Bye.